I got a lot of games right yesterday on my betting picks, 6-2 for the record. One of my losses was this game, Ohio State at home against Wisconsin. I thought this was a bounce back spot for a Buckeyes team I still believed in the talent level of. I thought Wisconsin was flying a little too hot. I thought that they were due to maybe fall a game back in the standings and come back in that pack with Illinois and Purdue. No, not the case. Wisconsin continues to get the job done, 71-60 on the road in Columbus. Wisconsin's 4-0, atop the Big Ten right now. 2 games in the loss column ahead of Purdue, 1 game in the loss column ahead of Illinois, 20% of the way through the season. I think it's time we start seriously considering that the Badgers can win this league, Cart.
What did you just say?
I think Wisconsin can win this Big Ten.
All right, I'm gonna need at least a couple of weeks to actually fathom that I gotta accept that. But I think it's a true statement by you. I mean, look, for all the credit we give coaches across the country, even one of the names that I think has gone by the wayside, me and you have talked about this offline, is one that deserves more credit for what they're doing this year is Greg Gard. Like Greg Gard has done a great job with this basketball team. He had the addition of AJ Storr. He is basically not playing one of the players that everyone thought would break out because he's not checking on this team, and this team hasn't skipped a beat. This team has got better. They're getting contributions from 9 to 10 guys every single night. They're getting contributions from Klesmit, Storr, obviously. Hepburn looks good. Blackwell's been one of the better freshmen in the Big Ten. They're just getting a lot of contributions from different guys, and this Wisconsin team is a serious contender to win the Big Ten this year. And look, they're out to a 4-0 start. They go on the road, get a win at Ohio State against the Buckeyes, which we'll talk about a little bit more because I'm very concerned about the abusive relationship that I have with these Buckeyes and what they do to me year by year. But for them to go into Value City Arena, full house, by the way, and get a win on the road, it's very impressive by Wisconsin. And it's really time, like you said, to start coming to grips with the fact that this team might be the competitor to Purdue to win the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're legit. They have great wins. I mean, decisive win against Marquette. Now you're into conference play, and you're 2 of your wins on the road, undefeated on the road in conference play at Michigan State and at Ohio State. Like those are wins that teams that win leagues get. Like it's nobody sweats if you lose on the road. Even Purdue, right? Purdue. Oh, they lost at Nebraska. They lost at Northwestern. Okay, those are hard places to play. Not if you want to win the league. Like nobody would look twice if Wisconsin lost this game or lost to Michigan State. They didn't. And now all of a sudden we have to have conversations about it. I was texting DK about it. I can't remember if this was in our group with you or separate, but he was on Wisconsin. I want to give him credit. He has been kind of calling this is the classic Holtman slide early in the conference season, and he thinks Wisconsin's legit. He had a futures ticket, but he predicted Wisconsin would win last night, and he made a great point about how everybody expected Essegian to have a breakout this year. He had a really good freshman year, right? He was really, really good. And it was really easy, even with the addition of Storr, to be like, yeah, Essegian's going to get better. How are they going to fit together? But in reality, what happened is Greg Gard did not sit on his roster from a team that underachieved last year and evaluated everything. Even the guy who was supposed to be the breakout guy. Greg Gard saw an opportunity to go secure an upgrade, and he did it. And I know we've made jokes at it. We don't know what's going to happen with Essegian. He is working his way back into rotation. He got 8 minutes last night. It's crazy that we view that as a big number now. But I just think Gard deserves credit because your coach, my coach, a lot of coaches don't upgrade their guys, like even their bad players. And Greg Gard upgraded his best player, and he's reaping the rewards for it now in Big Ten play.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Storr has been impressive. And they just get contributions from like other guys. Like every 4 or 5 games, Max Klesmit will give you 20 and win you a basketball game. Hepburn's been very good all year. I mean, they're a really good basketball. They're serious, like good basketball team that people need to like start, I guess, respecting. I guess it's sometimes hard because they're the Wisconsin Badgers and the Kohl Center and everything about the mystique aura of the team. but they are really good. They have really good wins, and you gotta respect this Badgers team. To flip this though to the Ohio State Buckeyes, very concerned about them. They're now 1-2 in January. This is the first time they lost 2 games in a row all season. Uh, and the biggest concern for me is the backcourt, starting with who I think is their best player, and Roddy Gale. Roddy Gale Jr. Had what 4 of 14, 9 points, 3 turnovers. This is a trend across his last 3 games, Greg. He has more turnovers than made field goals.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 11 for 46 from the field with 12 turnovers across his last 3 games. And the body language is bad, according to my experts behind the scene. Can you speak to that a little better?
Yeah, so I watched this whole game. I was really excited for this game because I thought it was going to tell us who each team was. Like like I said, this is one, if Ohio State wins at home, you don't sweat it. You're like, oh, home game. The home game, home teams keep winning in this league. And instead, it did tell us who each team really is. It told us that Wisconsin is a contender, and it told us that Ohio State is a collection of talent that still has some pretty serious demons. We talk about the demons with Purdue. Well, Ohio State last year was the worst team in the Big Ten. They were a mess. Like, and that team had no business being that messy. Like they could have been bad and it would have been fine. To lose, I think it was 14 out of 15 games at one point, to not cover in 14 out of 15 games at one point with an NBA talent in Bryce Sensabaugh and Thornton and Gale, who were talented, and Zed Key, who was an upperclassman. I know he was in and out of the lineup. He was hurt, but like that team should have been better than they were last season. And the most concerning part we saw it in person last year. The most concerning part was it seemed like everyone accepted it. Like there wasn't a lot of pushback as things were snowballing when they're down 10 points early in a game. It was like everybody kind of hung their head and said, yeah, this is what happens. I'm seeing that from Thornton and Gale right now. I mean, in these last 2 games, Thornton and Gale combined have been as bad as humanly possible. In this game, collectively, they were 10 for 30 from the floor. In their last game, I believe they were 7 for 34 from the floor. So that's 17 for 64 from your starting backcourt in a 2-game stretch. These guys are too good for this. And there is a lot of hang in your head right now. There is a lot of, okay, we're just going to come down and shoot a mid-range jumper. And if it doesn't go in, oh, well. I don't get it. It's not winning basketball. Gale's been more disastrous than Thornton. Thornton was actually, I thought, okay. I won't say good in this game, but he was okay until late. But I have serious questions about if Thornton and Gale are winning players or not. Like they clearly aren't ready to win in the Big Ten right now. And maybe that changes by the end of the year, but they're kind of empty numbers guys for me until proven differently.
So what you're telling me is it wasn't Bryce Sensabaugh's fault.
What I'm telling you is they developed a lot of habits alongside Bryce Sensabaugh.
Oh God! So we're blaming Bryce at all?
It seems to have translated. Look, at the end of the day, truly, it hurts me to say, at the end of the day, the guy whose fault it is the guy in charge of the team. Like you can't iron out the losing habits from last year's team to this year's team. Then that seems more like a systemic program thing than it is any personnel thing. Go ahead.
Can I do the positive flip on this?
Yeah.
If your 2 best players play okay, you probably win a basketball game.
You win
least
at
one.
Indiana for sure.
Yeah.
You win at Indiana. I don't think you win at this one.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. You probably would have needed a lot more. But I don't know. The guys are capable. This is just a really tough stretch for them.
Yeah, they're not going to keep shooting this poorly. I mean, that's what I said. That's why I picked Ohio State to win this game. But then they shot poorly again. So I don't know. The only other thing I'd add to this from the losing players mentality, and I don't love the definition of losing players because I think that's more about your program than it is about you individually sometimes. Like you can rip out a losing player, put him on the best team in the country, and all of a sudden he's a winning player. Like it's not how this works. But Jamison Battle looks like Ohio State's best player right now. Has Jamison Battle ever been around a winning team ever?
No.
So we're looking at a roster now, up and down this roster. Jamison Battle, Bruce Thornton, Roddy Gale, Felix Okpara, Evan Mahaffey. Where'd he come from? Penn State? None of these guys, except for Dale Bonner, have ever been around a winning basketball. They don't know what it looks like at the college level. So I think there's some imposter syndrome stuff going on, especially with Gale and Thornton, where it's like, oh, we're stars. We're stars, right? Get to Big Ten play and they keep losing games. They're seeing demons from last year. Maybe they're having some self-doubt. Because Gale especially looked really hesitant in this game. He looked like he was shooting shots he knows he's supposed to take as the best player and had no confidence that they were going to go in. It was sad to watch.
Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't do the classic Buckeye snowball though.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because I love Chris Holtman. I believe he's a good basketball coach, but I'm a little scared right now. And more importantly, we have to start talking about Wisconsin consistently. I think we're going to have to start doing previews and recaps for them. We've ignored it this year, but this might be the best team in the Big Ten, Cart. It's true. No, it's not. Purdue's the best team no matter where they finish in the Big Ten standings. But this might be the winner of the Big Ten.
Okay, yeah, that's the better way to say it.
Yeah, okay. By the way, I kind of feel like I'm a poor man's Max Klesmit.
I think you look more like Tyler Wall than Max Klesmit.
Look like or just like I was talking more like what I bring to the table, you know?
Oh, I saw more just like more like body shape, facial
Oh,
structure.
I appreciate that. I was also Wall is growing a beard. It looks nice. I have a theory that Wall's beard growing could be a big part of this.
Like he cuts his beard, they fall off a cliff.
Yeah, but no, I just feel like I'm like kind of, do the little things guy. Every couple of weeks I can give you a star performance, but most importantly, I just want it more than anybody else. That's kind of I feel like I'm Klesmity.
I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good job, Badgers. Bad job, Buckeyes. We'll see you next time.